Isn't this tea basket adorable? I'm going to show you how to make this tea basket. This one has one strand of yarn, the heart stitch, but my friend who gave me the Proverbs 3 verse 5 and 6 coffee cup, she also gave me tea bags, and I said I need to make a basket. Then there was a K cup. Oh well, there's several crochet patterns in this series, but they all are in gray and have a heart, and I'll show you how to make the basket. But then I will. To make the tea basket, you can use your scrap yarn. I prefer to use a stiff scrap yarn. You'll need contrasting colors. Red Heart Super Saver is good and stiff. Caron 1 pound is good and stiff. You'll need 2 crochet hooks, a G and an H. You'll need both of these crochet hooks, some scissors, and there are some helpful things that you can grab that will help you, a pen and paper to help you do some math, and some stitch markers. Now let's get busy. So when making the tea bag basket, you need to make a slip knot, chain 11, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then single crochet in the second chain from the hook and in each chain across. Let me do that for you. And I have done that, and now you have 10 single crochets, and we'll chain 1 and turn and single crochet in each stitch across. This is row 2. And then you chain 1 and turn and single crochet in each stitch across. You will do this technique for 28 rows. So let's go over that again. Chain 11, single crochet in the second chain from the hook and in each chain across for a total of 10 single crochets, and you chain 1 and turn, 10 single crochets, chain 1 and turn, 10 single crochets. You do that for 28 rows. Now, I already have a base made for the tea basket. I've made that in white. This is 28 rows. So you could make this shorter if you'd like. If you want a shorter basket, you could actually make this longer. But it's totally up to you. But for the tea basket that I have made, it is 28 rows. And I stopped right here. Now, this next technique is we're going to place 3 single crochets in the corner right here on the side. We're going to want to single crochet around each side, across the bottom, up this side, and across the top, and we are going to want to place 3 single crochets at the corners. And I like to place them at the edges, not on the side of the stitch. Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to want to single crochet in the side of this stitch. But first, I need to chain 1 and single crochet 3 times in the side of this stitch to make a corner. All right, now you can see how that kind of makes a corner. There we go. It kind of goes to the front and goes to the side. Now I need to execute single crochets down this edge. And I basically am putting a single crochet in the side of each row. Now, every yarn is different. And as you're going down the side, some yarns might be thicker and it might create a ripple, a big ripple. I'm not talking just a little ripple from you holding it, but a big ripple so that if you laid it down, you could not flatten it out and it would still ripple. If that happens, then you've placed too many stitches along the side, or you just might need to skip a row. Now, if you're crocheting down the side and it starts pulling in like this, that means you need a few more stitches. So this is just a guide. I generally place a stitch on the side of each row, But sometimes, depending on what I'm working with, what yarn I'm working with, and how everything is coming out, I will not place a stitch in the side of each row. So let's just stop and look. I have a bit of a ripple, but it smooths out very easily. If I smooth it out, it doesn't pop up somewhere else. So now if I was concerned, I would just skip a stitch. We're coming up to the corner, so hang on with me here. I want to show you how when you come to the corner, then I'll just dig right into the side of that stitch and place 3 single crochets. Now I'm turning the corner. Now I can put my single crochets in this loop, and you can too, but I like to just dig right down in beside the stitches, down in between, and place my single crochet there. And I'm coming to this third corner. I want to show you what I do. All right. So now I'm needing to place 3 single crochets in this third corner, but I'm not so sure I want this big loop like this is happening. I don't know that I like that. So let's look at this situation. Let me take this stitch out. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and place my 3 single crochets right there. This is all a judgment call. I know I'm keeping you on the camera a little bit, but this is really a judgment call. I don't want there to be a big loop. Now, if I can't avoid it, it's not that big of a deal, but I grabbed another yarn there. There we go. 1. We'll take care of the stitch count in a little bit. 2. 3. There we go. I like that much better. Now I can start single crocheting down this edge. Basically, it's up the edge. And let me speed the camera up. I'm coming up to the last corner. I'm going to want to look at the situation. I think I'll put my 3 stitches, I think I'll put them right there. Nope, that didn't work. I need to get down in there deeper. There we go. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now I'm going to single crochet in each stitch across. Okay, we're back at the beginning. Let's take a look. Before I join, let's see how our bottom is looking. I like the looks of it. It looks pretty good. It's pretty smooth. Once I get the next row done, it will look a little nicer. So let's go ahead and join with a slip stitch to the first single crochet that was made. So we will chain 1, and now we will start executing back post half double crochets, and we will be inserting the hook in under the first 2 loops. This is the joining stitch. In under the first 2 loops, then go around the post, or we're going around the stitch and back out the back side. Then we'll be grabbing a loop and pulling it through to the back, and that's called a back post stitch. So let me show you the exact step. So I'll be yarning over, coming in from the back, going around the post, out to the back, yarn over, pull through, pull through. You have 3 on the hook, and you make your half double crochet. So in from the back, out to the back, yarn over, pull it to the back, half double crochet. In from the back, out to the back, pull it through to the back, half double crochet. Let me get moving on this for you. So we are coming to the end of all of those back post half double crochet stitches. Makes a nice little edge. It makes this direction of the stitches go start heading up the sides of the basket. There we go. So I have just a couple more. I have just a couple more left to make. Let me show you. So the back post. And one last back post on this last stitch. So we have the G-hook now. There's one other thing that we need to do. We need to count all of our stitches. And I've already counted. We have 83 stitches. Now we need a multiple of 6 stitches for the heart stitch. So let's prepare for that. So let's divide 83 by 6. You can have any number. You might have 87. You might have 92. You could make an entirely different base than I have made. Single crochet around just as I showed you. Do a half back post double crochet and have a different stitch count, but to make the heart stitch you need a multiple of 6. So you divide that stitch count by 6, we have 13.8. So we multiply 6 by 13. That gives us a stitch count of 78. That's where we need to go. Now, so we subtract 78 from 83 and we have 5 stitches. So we need to decrease by 5 stitches. We're not going to want to increase. We want the sides of the basket to start coming in more. So we're going to decrease by 5 stitches. And you place the decreases evenly. I like to place 2. So if I had that many, I would place 2 on each side. You might only have 3 decreases that need to be made. If it's 3 decreases, I would place 2 on this side and 1. If it's 4, I would place them both here. But we need to decrease 5, so just randomly along the sides, place markers to remind you that you need to decrease. So I'll place 1 right here. So let me, so this is round 3 because round 1 was the single crochet around the edge. The half back post was round 2. So now we're executing round 3, and round 3 is chain 1, half double crochet in each stitch around until we meet a marker, and then we will decrease. I'm going to get to that marker fairly quickly. So now let me talk to you for just a second while I'm getting there about the different types of yarn. Red Heart Super Saver tends to be a stiff yarn, but I have found certain colors of Red Heart Super Saver are softer than others. Same way with Caron 1 pound. Some are stiffer and some are softer. And the stiffer the yarn, the easier it is to make a basket like this. All right, I've reached the marker. So I want to decrease. So how I decrease with a half double crochet is yarn over, insert hook, pull up a loop, and pull through 2. Yarn over, insert hook, pull up a loop, and then I just go ahead and pull through all 4. There we go. So I'll go ahead and get all the way around to the other side, and I'll go off camera to finish that, and then I'll come back and talk to you and point out the decreases and tell you what is next. So I'm back here with the basket. I made the 3rd round and I executed decreases. You can see 1 right there, and let's see, 1 right here. There are decreases. They're hard to see, but they are needful to help bring the size of the basket in. But I really feel like this basket's, the sides are still just a little bit soft, and I'm not putting a liner in this. So I want to bring the sides in just a little bit more. And since my stitch count is 6, and I already know I'm at the right stitch count, I'm going to place markers on the sides and at each end so that I can remember to decrease again. I don't want to decrease right over top. of where the decrease is. I feel like that leaves a little bit of a lump. So I'll put these decreases kind of closer to the center on the sides. And it can be random. It doesn't really matter. It's just an area. It doesn't have to be an exact stitch count. I know this is hard for some folks who love an exact stitch count, and I'm sorry. All right, one on each end. Let me crochet that around, and that will bring, when I get these decreases in, it's going to help bring in the sides of the basket, and it's going to be time to add in a contrasting color to add the heart stitch. Let me go off camera and get that done, and I'll be right back. Okay, I am at the end, and I'm pretty happy. This was the end of round 4, and I decreased 6 more times, and I'm pretty happy with how this basket looks. As it stands right now, you could put pencils in this. You could put some things in this to make the organizer, but that's not what this basket is for. So let me show you the decreases. There's a decrease here and a decrease here, a decrease here and a decrease here, and it's pretty much the same on either side, and then there are decreases at the end. So now we're going to start working the heart stitch. I'm excited about that. I'm at the end of the row. I'm going to want to drop the white and pull up the contrasting color. I am not cutting this white off. I am just pulling up the contrasting color. The contrasting color I'm working with is pink. Pink hearts. All right, let's get that pulled up. We're pulling up the contrasting color at the slip stitch, but we are going to need to chain 2 and turn. So now we need to execute a heart stitch, and the heart stitch is 2 double crochet clusters with a chain 2 in between. This will not be a complete double crochet cluster. This chain 2 is going to count as a stitch. So we insert hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, insert hook, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. Now we're going to pull through all 3, and then chain 2, and then we'll make a complete double crochet cluster. Yarn over, insert hook, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, insert hook, pull up the loop, pull through 2, yarn over, insert the hook, pull up the loop, pull through 2, and you have 4 on the hook. Now yarn over and pull through all 4. All right, there we have our first heart stitch. Now the heart stitch looks best when it blooms out over the work with the wrong side showing. So that is the reason that we turned. We will need to turn back after we work with the pink. So the next stitch is chain 2. Then I go ahead and I yarn over because we're going to be skipping 5 stitches, but I like to use my hook to count. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then dig into that 6th. I have my yarn over. I'm going to make the half, not the half double crochet cluster, the double crochet cluster. Yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2. We do that until we have 4 loops on the hook, and we do. So it's pull through all 4, chain 2, execute that second double crochet cluster, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, yarn over, pull up a loop, pull through 2, 4 on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 4, chain 2, and again we are skipping 5 stitches. Yarn over, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and in that 6th stitch we make the double crochet cluster. This is a fun stitch. I wasn't too sure when I first started working with it, but the more I work with it, the more I think this needs to be on the edge of a hat, needs to be on the bottom of a baby sweater, or just as an edging on a pocket. I see so much potential in this stitch. Now I know why others like it so much. There we go, chain 2. Let me finish this around the edge of the basket, and when I get over here, I'll join you. I'll come back on camera. I am at the end. I have completed all of the heart stitches. I'm ready to chain 2 and join to the top of the beginning heart stitch. So I've chained 2, and I'm going to bring this over and join with a slip stitch right here, but I need to drop the contrasting color. So I'm going to pull the contrasting color to the inside, make sure this tail is to the inside, then I need to put the main color to the outside. Insert the hook right in that chain 2 space and pull up the main color. I'm catching a thread. There we go. Pull up the main color. All right, tighten that down. You can knot these two if you want, but I like to leave them loose in case when I turn I still need to do a little bit of adjusting. But let me show you that join one more time. All right. I made sure the yarn was easily accessible. I come over to the chain 2 and I use the main color to join. Did you see that? I use the main color to join, so I pull the main color up and join with a slip stitch. Now chain 1 and turn. I'm going to tighten these down. There you go. Let's look at our basket. I've chained 1 and turned. Now our basket looks a little bit pushed in, but that is because of these chain 2 spaces. This next round is going to push this apart a little bit more. So let me show you how that happens. So I'm going to start back at the join. I've cut the contrasting color yarn. Now we chain 1 and turn, and this is the fun part. I think it's the fun part. Remember those 5 stitches that we skipped? We're going to yarn over and half double crochet in the second, third, and 4th stitch that we skipped, and that will open this up a little bit more for us. You know how the stitches were closed down. So here we go. This stitch is used. This is 1, this is 2. Half double crochet, pulling up the yarn, half double crochet in the 3rd, and half double crochet in the 4th. This stitch is very forgiving. The reason being is that if you didn't skip enough stitches, you can still make up for it. It doesn't really matter that you hit exactly 2, 3, and 4. It's best. But if you have to fudge a little bit, here is the spot that you fudge, and I'll explain that again in just a moment. So 3 half double crochets in stitch 2, stitch 3, and stitch 4 that were skipped, chain 2, single crochet in the chain 2 space of the heart, chain 2, and then execute those half double crochets again in stitch 1, stitch 2, pull up the yarn, stitch 3, pull up the yarn, and stitch 4, pull up the yarn, and then chain 2, single crochet in the chain 2 space of the heart. And doesn't that look nice? That looks so sweet. And the next round really makes these hearts jump out and punch out a little bit more. Let me get to the end of this round and I'll come back and talk with you. Okay, so I'm at the end of the round. I want to go through with you what we are executing. We're executing 3 half double crochets in stitch 2, 3, and 4, a chain 2, a single crochet in the top of the heart, a chain 2, 3 half double crochets, chain 2, single crochet, chain 2, 3 half double crochets all the way around, and I am at the end, and all that is left for me to do is chain 2 and join. Chain 2 and join to the top of the half double crochet. Okay, this is the last round, unless you want to add a crab stitch or an extra stitch on top, but this is the last round. So it's chain 1, a single crochet in each half double crochet, a single crochet in the chain 2 space, a single crochet in the single crochet that is at the top of the heart, single crochet in the chain 2 space, a single crochet in this half double crochet, and I start right there. Next half double crochet, 1, 2, 3, and then a single crochet in the chain 2 space, and a single crochet in the top, in the single crochet that is in the top of the heart, single crochet in the chain 2 space, and this little bit of extra stitching. This is a 3-row stitch. The heart stitch is a 3-row stitch. So you execute your double crochet clusters with a chain 2, then you come through with the half double crochet stitches, chain 2 spaces, and a single crochet in the top of the heart. Then you come back through. This is the last round of the heart stitch. So it's round 1, round 2, and round 3, and that is single crochets in the chain 2 spaces, single crochets in the chain 2 that is in the top of the heart, and a single crochet in each half double crochet around. I'll go off camera and I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, I'm at the end. This is the last stitch of this little basket. So we join to the top of the first single crochet, end off, and pull through. That's a little shorter than what I like. I like to leave a longer tail than that. And we have a basket. And you can stuff your tea bags down in there. You can do a little bit of shaping. Once those tea bags get in there, it looks really nice. It's a cute basket. So, and there you have it. Just a little bit of shaping. Put your tea bags in there, pinch your corners a little bit, and you don't need a lining. Although, I think a lining will make this so much nicer. It'll make the basket so nice, and I'll have a tutorial on how to line this basket. If you didn't want, you may not want as many decreases as we put in here if you're going to put a liner in it, but even if you put a liner in it, this is going to stretch out and fit the liner so well. This would be so cute to have on a desk, on a teacher's desk. Just she could throw her pencils down in there. I hope you enjoyed making this tea basket. Don't forget, this is a giveaway video. If you comment or leave me a comment or a note down below, then you will be entered in a drawing for one person to win the entire Proverbs series crochet patterns, along with the entire Valentine's bundle of 2022. So leave me a comment, like and subscribe if you don't already, and let me know how you like this tea basket.